Hey, good morning, everybody. Let me know when you can hear me and we can get going. Hey, can y'all hear me? Once you can, let me know. We can get going. Hear you now. Sweet. All right. Yeah, we can. All right, everyone. How you doing? I'm gonna go shut my door real quick. Give me a second. All right, welcome back. We'll get into the pre-market prep now. Right, SPX game. Plan to do that in Discord every morning. If you're not familiar with Gamma Edge, first time hearing about us, is simply put, right, we're using our options market structure analysis just to understand kind of overall positioning of the market. Reason for that is, right, modern market structure options are very important. They tend to dictate day-to-day price movement and just the size of the overall market, and specifically SPX. We can kind of get a general flavor for how kind of general market positioning um, is doing that both in the short term and the long term, right? Long term, more of that's your SPX A complex, which is the cruise ship. Kind of think of this as your slower term, longer term capital as opposed to SPXP that we'll get to in a second. So we're looking at just the October monthly expiration, right? SPXA is your monthly and your quarterly expiration. So the key thing that we're looking at here is one is the structure put or call dominated in this instance, which is good. And then what's our key line in the sand, right? So key line in the sand right here is 66.25 delta transition. So just important to keep that in mind. Right now we're at 66.70, I believe. Let's pull that up. The pre-market, yeah, 66.70, so well above that level, but something just to keep in mind, right? In this analysis, it's really important for kind of day-to-day changes, especially when we're looking at the SPXA, SPXP full complexes, so we can kind of understand, if it's a continuation, building higher, building lower, if we're seeing some kind of transition. Obviously not seeing the transition right now, but something that we would keep in mind and looking for, just given where we are at, price in general. Looking at true zeros, delta and gamma, trending higher, looks fine there. Looking at our GEX ratio, right? This is like the put call ratio, but a bit more superior because it's built off of gamma. So cumulative call gamma relative to cumulative put gamma. Gamma is more sensitive, closer to expiration, so this gives more weight to those near-term expirations, which makes more sense for us as traders, as opposed to relying on stuff that's happening a year from now, which doesn't really impact today. So key things here is we're just seeing a little bit of pullback in the ratio. We're still above 1, which is constructive, meaning calls are more dominant than puts, but this ratio is declining on a day-over-day basis right now, really since the peak middle of September. So just something to keep an eye on. Not necessarily actionable per se, but it's just more of understanding your situational awareness and coupling that with the market trend model, which I forgot to hit on first. But I mean, yesterday, yes, was a weak day. Saw some filter tick selling. The cumulative tick is now below railroad tracks, which are moving lower as well. But it's just in the context of what we've been doing, it's simply just in the middle of the range, just a pullback. Now, if we start cumulative tick starts to break down below, interact with the rainbow moving average ribbon, which is our longer term moving average ribbon, then that would be a concern for us, right? As that's going to turn off our P transit plus GEX 100% mechanical strategy. So that's where we would start getting a lot more defensive. But posted in the Discord yesterday, when we slice through the railroad tracks from above to below, that's generally a good take profit signal on at least some of your profits you have ideally made on this run higher. So obviously you're not in the Discord, you didn't get that message, but kind of thoughts there. And we could absolutely move back higher again today. So that's why if you're specifically trading off the cumulative tick and kind of the short-term railroad track combination, then it's important that you're in your seat watching this, because stuff can change pretty quickly intraday. Lastly, looking at delta balance, again, benefit of the options market is it's forward-looking by nature, so we can look out into those future expirations to see how folks are positioned. Right now, everything looks fine, right? The delta balance is pinned at 1, which just means, right, for the next 5 expirations, net call, there is call dominance relative to put dominance, so not really a ton else to say there. Obviously, if you guys want to read the full narrative, you can do that in the Discord. Going on to SPXP. So GEX ratio red is weakened day over day. Again, just situational awareness, understanding that the complex is starting to see a little bit less call speculation. We can see some out-of-the-money puts starting to grow below us. Right, it's our belief markets are driven by in-the-money, out-of-the-money call and put speculation. So that's why we really focus on, okay, out-of-the-money calls winning above or out-of-the-money puts winning below. So you can start to see some out-of-the-money puts creeping in, so just something to keep your eye on. Further, the transition zones, right? That's where these are critical on the SPX full complex. Again, this is more of your speedboat. This is where your daily, your weekly, 0DT expirations, all that good stuff resides. So 66.55 is kind of that key downside level we want to see hold. We're right at 66.70 right now, which is kind of the top of our GEX transition zone. So again, critical level right now. I'm just reading this as well. Yeah, so right, that's just key there is, could be signs of, a bit of deterioration. So just absolutely do not be getting complacent right now. GEX ratio, same story here. Still above 1, but declining day over day. So ideally that's not great to see. So yeah, we really just want to keep monitoring this. Delta balance as well. Seeing a little bit of weakness into, so this would be today. This would be Thursday, Friday. So next Monday, seeing a little bit of weakness, but everything else looks fine. Key thing to note is today we're seeing a lot of weakness as well, right? This is the 0DT expiration. Sorry, hold on a second. So yeah, sorry, I know that got interrupted there, but yeah, seeing a little bit of weakness today actually. So just keep that in mind there. Yeah, so bumpy right in the end of the month, so just be cognizant of that. Now looking at 0DTE, why a lot of people came here, right? So looking at this complex, right, put dominated, that doesn't mean we're going down, guys, right? Just because it's put dominated, right, it's still only negative 8,000 GEX. That's not a ton. What's going to be really important is intraday price action, intraday volume analysis, and where we are in context of these key levels. So the key transition zone, right, is 66.65, 66.70. So we're right at the top of that right now. Top of the drunken sailor range is 66.70 as well. No, sorry, 66.75. So above 66.75, more inclined to move higher. First stop would be, well, we have this massive gamma glob up here, right, at 66.85, 66.90. So I imagine that's going to be tough sledding to plow through that stuff up there. So if we do get up there, just be cognizant of that. And then right to the downside, below 66.65, key downside level that bulls want to see hold at 66.50. Below 66.50, things could get nasty, right? Just depending on how aggressive, the sellers want to get, obviously. So pretty tight structure today. Key levels well defined. So yeah, we'll honestly just see how aggressive sellers want to be getting today. Here's our net stat, right? This is just a visualization of our 3D surface models. I know a lot of people can't necessarily interpret 3D surface models, so this is just a good way of looking at it. Pretty balanced so far, right? Charm a little bit favoring the favoring negative charm, so just something to keep in there, all else equal. Key strikes down here. So we're looking at 66.50, which we just talked about. Below 66.50, 66.20 is going to be key. And then to the upside, 66.90, which we already talked about again, is going to be key. And again, right, full right up here, key levels. You guys feel free to read those. Right, yeah, if we fail below 66.50, look into 40 and then ultimately 20. So yeah, there's some other stuff there. You guys feel free to read that. We're gonna, if you guys are clear on 0DT, we're gonna transition over to swing trading stuff now. I know there's any tickers you're watching from bull list. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I know the market's about to open in a minute, so if you guys want to drop off, not going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to keep going, though. So yeah, looking at our swing trading, right, it starts getting an understanding of the SPX game plan, just SPX-A, SPX-P overall, and this market trend model. How we were saying there's a little bit of weakness coming in, so I'm going to be patient to understand if that weakness continues or if we're able to right the ship and move higher. I got light exposure on right now, so what I got on? I got on NVIDIA, which is up in the pre-market, that's tight. UNH, which is up in the pre-market, that's tight. So, yeah, no reason to be doing anything myself right now. Again, only 2 positions on, so incredibly light at this point in time. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, we were at P-Trans plus GEG strategy. This is our 100% mechanical strategy, right? It looks like opening trades Intel, J&J, closing trades Apple, TSM, to the extent you have those in your portfolio. Yeah, we have all the statistics here, right? It's a high win rate strategy, mirrors and back testing, all that good stuff. We've said this stuff a million times, so I'm not going to repeat it here. Next, we have the wheel strategy. Again, wheel strategy is nothing new. We just put a little gamma edge flare on it, which means, right, we apply the Minervini trend template to find those stocks that have momentum to the upside. And we're also looking for call dominated stocks, right? Those 2 factors are really powerful in finding those stocks where we can, you know, repeatedly sell puts and not be assigned. But if we are assigned, then they're strong stocks we want to be in. So then just starting to sell calls against that. Hence the wheel. You know, I had a lot of good feedback on this. One of our members said yesterday he's 10 for 10 on this strategy so far. Paul posted some trading stats over the weekend. I think he's done like 100 trades at this point in this and been assigned a couple times. So we are having a good run of things lately. And again, we post this every day with the list. These are Paul's open positions, all that good stuff. So very transparent with what we do, right? We're not just giving you data. We are running these strategies ourselves in the Discord, chatting, all that good stuff. Then lastly, what we do is, you know, in the swing game plan, I put together some swing lists as well, a bull list and a bear list. We have proprietary scanners, so I just linked to some of those 2, like new call dom dale, call dom, and then also just regular call dominated stocks. Sorry. So the bull list, bear list, very similar to the wheel strategy, like just above 2150 moving averages, because the market gives credence to those, whether you believe in technical analysis or not. Like, it's important. And then call dominated, right? So those are just components of strong trending stocks. That's what we want to focus on. And then the bear list is simply those stocks which you either, if you're into shorting, consider shorting, or if you are not into shorting into stocks that you want to stay away from in terms of your long list. Sorry, I'm just uploading the bull and the bear list right now in a trading view so we can look at them. Open list. So here what we have is, and this is our script, right? This is just our levels, simple script in TradingView. You guys can download that, get that. So yeah, we can just rifle through some stocks here real quick. Like I said, in NVIDIA, TradingView wants to be slow now today. That's annoying. Looks like it's sitting right on its P-trans level, so let's see what the market's doing right now. Yeah, so right at 66.70 again, guys. That's our top of our transition zones. Oh. Getting back to NVIDIA, I mean, it's right at its plus Gex level of 180. So like seeing resistance here makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. Tesla. This is annoying. I'm gonna restart TradingView real quick. I can't handle how slow it's being. Give me a second. Alright, that seems like it's working better. So we have Tesla, right? It's made a nice move higher. Not really a trade there for me. Right, what I'm looking for this tight consolidation. It needs to be above P-trans, and then it needs to break above prior day high, because what is moving higher should continue to move higher. And if it doesn't, then that's like key information into our directional thesis that something has changed that we need to reconsider. So that's kind of how I go about it, right? Just keep it very simple. That's just a discretionary point of view, right? We have the mechanical things for that reason. Then I know people like to do discretionary trading, right? So that's why we offer it as well. Apple, I mean, bit extended here, right? Really nice move. So I'm just going to run through these real quick, see if anything looks interesting. A lot of these stocks have had just such good moves that a pullback is like, I want to see a pullback so I can get a better entry, you know? Don't really want to be entering stocks and they're making all-time highs. Snap. Yeah, this IREN's been on a freaking tear lately too. Robinhood makes all-time highs every day. UNH continuing to act well, up another almost 2% today. Again, we put that one on yesterday. That's a good winner. Just pulling it up real quick. Yeah, so we're up 20% on UNH, right? That's just the options position. NVIDIA, we're up close to 30%. We were up way more on that rip the other day. I just got greedy and didn't want to take profits. So, Google, we've already been through that. Wow, Baba has been absolutely ripping for like the last 2 months. That's crazy. I don't know if there's news on that name or not. Hey, if you guys have any tickers you want to specifically look at, let me know. We can run through them. I'm just not really seeing anything right now. Breathing. Yeah, so nothing's really piquing my interest right now. If we're getting that far on the watch list and not find anything, then probably means you're forcing it somehow. So yeah, Amazon looks like death here. Let's go back to SPX. SPX, yeah, breaking down a little bit from the 6670 level. Let me go back to what our key levels were again. Yeah, so it's kind of right at the top of the transition zone, bumping its head a little bit. So alright guys, I'm gonna cut it there. Really just watching to see if, you know, further weakness comes in the market right now. And we shall go from there. So with that, I appreciate the time, guys. We'll talk later. Thanks.